Good afternoon. ACCUSTATS Video Productions proudly presents Championship 9-Ball. I'm Grady Mathews with my good friend Dan Louie, and what a pleasure that is. A wonderful human being, and we have the pleasure of doing commentary on a great match. Francisco Bustamante and Efren Reyes, and Dan, I don't know how you could ask for anything better than this.
Well, this is definitely one of the dream matchups of this tournament. I'm really looking forward to seeing these guys play. It should be some kind of performance.
I'd like to mention also that they're playing for the right to play Ramil Gallego in the finals. And we didn't know anything about him. He's 32 years old. He's from the Philippines, but I think he's living in Los Angeles. He's married and has a child, and just plays great 9-ball. Boy, did you watch that last match?
I did, and he dominated the match, and this guy came out of nowhere. I saw him one time at the Japan Open a couple years ago, and this guy played fantastic, and I just knew if he had a chance to play over here, he would definitely be one of the guys that would have a chance to win this tournament.
Oh, sure. Okay, race to 9. Tough pockets, 4.5 inches. We're at the Sands Regency, Reno, Nevada. June the 13th, 1999, if that matters. Okay, Efren broke the balls and made something on the break. And the 2-5-6 are by the far left-hand corner. The 2-ball goes, he can make the one on the side. The 4-9, though, are kind of messed up. But Efren is such a terrific billiard player. He could play a billiard on this 9-ball, Dan, if he wanted to. Oh, he didn't make the 1-ball. I'm surprised at that. Okay. You like going 2 rails here above the 3-ball?
I look like he's looking to go underneath the ball.
Okay.
It's hard to see the angle.
Okay, that's a nice shot. Well, by doing it the way he chose, he doesn't risk getting snookered. Okay, here we go. What do you like doing with this 9-ball? I think he's got a plan to play the billiard. Oh, boy.
Very characteristic of Bustamante.
You know, I hate that, too, when I do that, because I feel like, and I always have, that the first game sets the tone oftentimes for the entire match, and I don't like to make an unforced error the very first game, especially if I'm playing an Efren Reyes.
Can't afford many mistakes against Efren.
No. And he's played well here this week. All right, he's going to play the billiard. Watch how he does this. He'll use a just above center ball, right-hand English, thin hit on the 4-ball, and strike it very easy, and the English will turn the 9-ball into the pocket. Just like that. Good shot. And it's 1-0, Efren Reyes. Now, we started, Dan, with 231 players. Which I think is terrific. I think all the tournaments should open up, and I don't see what would be wrong with having several hundred players.
Well, I think having more players definitely makes for a more exciting tournament. It's nice to see a lot of players versus, say, 50 or 60 players.
Oh, sure. Well, I know in golf, in their professional tournaments, if you're in the tournament, you start early one day and start late the next day. Then on the 3rd and 4th days, the best finishers start last. But anyway, I wouldn't care if they told me I play at 7 in the morning. It's one of my favorite times of day anyway.
Well, at 7 in the morning, I'm guaranteed I'm not up by that time.
Now, he's in pretty good shape here. He made a couple of balls on the break. And he's obtained a nice angle to get on this 5-ball. Now, I think he can just come back between the 6 and 7 with the cue ball here, and no way in the world to not have position. Just like that. And he can I wouldn't risk it behind the 7. I'd find a way to go around it or draw it back or something where he doesn't run the risk of being snookered. He stayed inside of it, which is fine. That's a beautiful stroke. He handles inside English so well. Makes it look easy.
Well, I notice the way Efren plays, he does use a lot of spin shots and a lot of finesse, and he does that as well as anybody in the world.
Yeah, oh, for sure. For sure. Well, he's possessed of great billiard ability, too. I remember when he first heard of Ceulemans, he'd never heard of Ceulemans. He said, I don't know Ceulemans, I play him, he says, you know, and might beat him, you know. And he beat a friend of mine that plays great billiards in Detroit, and my friend was relating the story to me later, and I said, well, what happened? I said, what did he average? He said, well, he averaged 2. I said, over how many games? He said, 4 50-point games. He says, but I don't like the way he plays. Well, let me tell you something. You can't average 2 and be doing things wrong at billiards. Okay, 2-0 Reyes. Anyway, he's an interesting guy. Oh, I love Efren. You know, he likes to watch movies. He's the kind of guy that might tip a maid $100. Loves to play chess. First time he and Jimmy Fusco played chess, they played for fun for 24 hours straight.
Oh, another one of his favorite pastimes is singing karaoke.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Sing.
No kidding. What kind of music does he sing?
Oh, I think he sings all kinds. In fact, he was playing with Alex Pagalian the other day, a little one pocket, and he was singing while he was playing.
Well, I'll be darned. Well, I have to go hear that some night. Okay, he made a ball on the break. And the 2-3-9 are on the lower right-hand side rail. And I don't know what he's going to do with them. I don't think he's got an angle to do much except plan to bank the 2-ball or play a safety. That's a good angle because he can bank this ball. And you never know, he might hit behind the 3 and make the 9, but I think we'll see him bank at this ball with low right English. I think there's a lot of good things can happen, don't you?
I definitely do. There's he's looking at the birdie like what you're talking about, at hitting the 3 and then possibly going into the 9.
Well, he's playing so well. This is not a hard cross-side bank. I just go all out to make it. And he could play it a different way, too. He could go into the 3 first rather than hit behind it, you know, after he hits the 2-ball. Just whatever he feels comfortable with. But I think if he gets in there behind it, the cue ball will get out of there, won't get stuck there. Good shot. But I don't think he meant to miss the whole ball. In fact, it looks like there's barely room for that. Now he can bank this cross side and play the 9 too, if I see the angle. Right, and the 4 ball's on the end rail. He's going to have position. Nice shot, nice shot. And it's 3-0. You know, he's such a creative player too, and he's very offensive-minded. It's always fun to watch him play. You learn something almost every time.
Well, he always comes up with some kind of shots that I've never seen, and it always amazes me watching him play.
Well, that billiard knowledge of his, Dan, holds him in good stead, or stands him in good stead from some ticklish situations.
Well, besides for billiards, he also plays a little bit of snooker, too.
I've heard that. Yeah, I never watched him play snooker. But nothing would surprise me about that. Well, you know, Bloomdahl plays 9-ball snooker and billiards and plays all 3 of them well. And, in fact, a lot of the European players are jealous of him because they feel like nobody should be able to do that.
Well, I'm of the belief that the more games you play, the better it is for your overall game.
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly, sure. Well, one pocket helps a lot, too.
One pocket is probably one of the finest games around that requires knowledge of just about every discipline of pool.
And the best defensive players seem to play pretty decent one pocket. Well, for Francisco, it looks like he's running into a couple of buzzsaws. First, Ramil Gallego, and now Efren Reyes. Now, I'll tell you what he excels at, too, is the cute little things like this. He wants to control the two ball. He's not going to guess at where this two ball goes. He took a little extra time and made sure that he handled it. I know some 9-ball players that would not have done that, and then if they don't get position, they feel like they got a bad roll. Okay, he's in pretty good shape here. I think he's going to follow this out of there with his inside English. And that's beautifully executed. Okay, he's got a tough shot here. I don't know if he can. He might have to follow this around the 9. I don't know if he got exactly straight on this or not. Uh-oh. Well, just like that, he's got a problem. Okay, I see 2 shots here. Go ahead and bank at it by the 7 ball and try to hit it too thick if you don't make it, or skin it on the right hand side and maybe knock it over by the left hand side rail and put the cue ball 2 rails behind the 9. Do you see anything you like here?
I think you mentioned all the options I was thinking of.
Well, this is Francisco's, might be his first real opportunity. No, he miscued. No, he had another opportunity. That's right. He miscued. Well, now, if he wants to win this match, he's got to run out here. Good shot, good shot. Okay, this is fine. Now, he doesn't shoot opposite-handed. He shoots behind the back pretty well. All right, and that score is going to be 3-1. I always have fun when I come to Reno. I meet a lot of old friends here, and we just visit and just enjoy ourselves.
Oh, you know, sometimes I come here and there's people here I haven't seen for maybe 20 years.
Oh,
so
sure.
It's
sure.
definitely a fun time to come here.
Well, you're an interesting guy anyway. For anybody who doesn't know anything about Dan Louie, he won quite a few major tournaments, and he's been an institution, pocket billiard league speaking, in the Northwest for a long time.
Oh, you're being too kind.
No, it's the truth, and they've grown used to watching you turn in championship performances in this part of the country for many years. All right, he made one on the break. He's going to be snooker behind the 8, I think. And he's going to have to roll out here. You know, I didn't know until yesterday that jump cues were allowed here, and none of these guys that, you know, the last 3 or 4 guys in the tournament, I don't think they have a jump cue with them, or I don't even know if they use them.
Well, as much as I've seen Efren play, I've never seen him jump a ball.
Oh, he tried it once yesterday, and he didn't make it. All right, he only had to, he had maybe twisted a little bit. I thought he was snookered, but he was in pretty good shape. Now, the 2, I believe, goes in the corner, and if so, he can just stop the cue ball, planning to play the 3 in a side pocket. Main thing here is make the 2 ball. Okay, or follow forward a little bit. This is fine, too. Now, you got to be careful here, because if he gets straight in on the 4 ball, he could have a problem getting on the 5. I might just lay it over on the side rail, all the way over like this. I think that's probably the best shot. That way he doesn't risk ending up behind the 8. And this, he'll just try to put it as close to the middle of the table as he can. The exact middle of the table. Okay, that's pretty good. Now low right English, position for the 7 ball in the side pocket. Good shot. Now these are touchy here too. He's going to have to take an angle where he has to cut the 8 ball direction he doesn't really want, I think. I tell you what, he might have ended up, well, he's got to go 3 rails here, I believe. Or draw it 2 rails. Or maybe he got a better angle than I thought. He's drawing the ball. Oh, boy. Well, I'd call that a little fortunate there.
Very fortunate.
Yeah. Yeah. He meant to hit about an inch past the side, or 2 inches. I know he didn't want to come that close to scratching. Good shot, good shot. Okay, 3-2. He's smiling too. I don't blame him. Well, it's been a fun-filled, championship-laden week, and we're down to 3 players.
Well, do you have a winner picked out yet, or?
Well, it's pretty hard for me not to like Ramil Gallego. I mean, he's breaking the balls great. He just played a match where he never scratched on the break. He only missed 1 ball, and he shot an 893. Well, look at this, 3 balls on the break. And this guy's explosive, Dan. I mean, you got to give him credit. You know, last year he was the #1 player in the world. He won 3 out of 8 tournaments and had 2 seconds. I mean, that's pretty spectacular.
Oh, this guy put on some of the best performances that pool's seen in a long time.
Oh, sure. He brought a new dimension to championship 9 ball. And he plays great defense, great position. And as soon as I bragged on him, he got out of line on the 3 ball here.
Well, that's called the jinx. Put the jinx on him.
Well, if I'm Francisco here, I'm going to go ahead and shoot at this. He's got safeties and everything, but I don't want to let Efren beat me making some magical kick shot. Okay, well, he decided not to shoot at it. And, of course, if you can lay it down like that, All right, let's see if he's going to exhibit to us why they call him the magician. I think he's the most creative player in the world at, you know, tough situations of this sort.
You know, the problem with playing with Hook and Efren is that a lot of times your next shot, you're hooked.
Right. Oh, see, he's so creative. He does things like he might go 2 rails and try to thin this 3 and come down and make the 7 or the 9, or put the cue ball down there behind those balls. Things that no mortal would think of. Look at him. What business does a human being have looking at this 7 and 9 ball when you're shooting from a lock-up position of this sort? Okay, it didn't work out that time, but you know what he tried to do there? He tried to draw the cue ball off the 3 and come over there and make the 7 or the 9. Can you believe that? He wanted to hit it a little fatter is all.
I just tried to go for the hit. I'm lucky to even hit the ball.
Oh, you have more finesse than that.
Oh my gosh. Very uncharacteristic.
Well, these side pockets are a little tougher than they look. I mean, as we look at that left-hand side pocket, just looking at the feature table from here, look how small that opening is.
Yeah, these are definitely one of the smaller pockets, side pockets you'll see in most tournaments.
Well, this is riveting. Instead of 3 apiece, probably going to go to 4-2. He just kind of took that shot for granted, Francisco did. Good shot, good shot. Now all he has to do is make the 7. And our score is going to be 4-2, Reyes. I know what Francisco's trying to do. He's trying to get in that loose, freewheeling kind of mode where you don't have to think much and everything is easy. Okay, 875 for Reyes, 818 for Bustamante. And for anybody who might be hearing this type of thing for the first time, 1,000 is perfect pool by the ACCUSTATS reckoning, and it encompasses, I don't know, 10 or 15 statistical categories of this very difficult sport, such as your break percentage, kicking percentage, and how often you scratch. Does your opponent make balls after your safeties? Boy, we just talked about that in the last match. 9-ball in the break after an unforced error.
Seems like it happens so many times. And it certainly came up this time.
And it's my understanding, Dan, that this is a true double elimination tournament, meaning that the winner of this match, when they play Ramil Gallego, will have to defeat him twice in order to win the tournament. Well, he stopped the cue ball in the middle of the table. Did he make anything? No, he didn't make anything. Now, this is a really tough shot. He's got to force that ball out of there. There's no way to follow it. I'd be really happy if I could just get in the middle of the table here. Just below center ball, a touch of left-hand English. You have to hit it firm, like this, and he can hit it. That was a tough shot. Now, this isn't natural either. Pretty hard to float this in and have the cue ball go over there for the 3 in the corner. But it's tough to draw this or anything, too. He's got to go 3 rails, doesn't he? All right, he could do that. That was harder than it looked. That was a tough shot. Now, he doesn't want to be exactly straight in here because it might be difficult to get on the 5-ball. Okay, I think he's okay. I think he can cut the 4-ball slightly to his right, which will make the cue ball go straight down to the end rail. With his draw, of course. He must be careful not to miscue. Good shot. You know, sometimes, Dan, after a player miscues, it makes him scared to stroke the ball, and he'll have certain shots that wouldn't ordinarily be difficult for him, and he's scared to really put the right English on it.
Well, he'll have that in the back of his mind, but he stroked that pretty good. So
yeah, right.
I think he's forgot about that already. Oh, a little harder than he wanted.
Well, I think he's going to have to follow this 2 rails. No, he's going to draw it. Okay. Well, this is very un-Bustamante-like. Well, Efren's got to be delighted. He thought it was going to be 5-3. Now he's got a great chance to run 3 balls here and go ahead 6 games to 2. He missed it. That's a hard shot.
Well, anytime you're on the rail and you got a long shot like that, it makes it a little tough. But Efren missed that probably a little more than he's used to missing a ball.
Right, right. And I think that's one of his better shots. I've seen him make hundreds of those.
Yeah, normally I would consider that to be a hanger for Efren.
Right. Boy, what a huge difference too, Dan. Instead of 6-2, it's going to be 5-3. And for Francisco, it's an unexpected bonus. I give the Filipino players credit for another thing too. While we're on the subject, they're all perfect gentlemen. You won't find a crybaby among them. They just consistently turn in championship pool.
And they're a very friendly lot of guys.
Sure.
They'll talk to anybody.
Yeah.
They're always friendly.
Yeah.
Always have a nice word to say.
Yeah. Okay. This could really get interesting. We're liable to end up having an 8-8 match here. Already made 1 ball on the break, and he can hit this 1 ball, so he's in pretty good shape here. If the 3 goes, and I think it does, that's the 3-8 by the lower left-hand side rail.
And it looks like he may have a 4-9 combination after he pots.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to go, especially given the lie of the 3 ball, because it's so easy to get straight in on that combination. And this is fine here. Just draw back for position on a 3 ball. Well, now he has to play the combination, which was his intention to begin with. Now, if he hadn't gotten straight into the 3 ball, he could have played to run out. You know that 7 ball that Efren shot? You know, I'm not trying to second guess or fault anything that he does, but I find that I miss that shot more if I hit it the dribble speed like he did. I like to hit it with a little bit of authority, and I find my accuracy increases. Okay, 5-4. And every bit as exciting and interesting as we had first suspected it would be. Anyway, you got 5,000 square inches of playing surface on the 4.5 by 9 table, and I find that sometimes the cue ball will rest in a little divot or something. I don't care if you have the most perfect equipment in the world, and if you hit it real easy, sometimes it'll squirt out of that little divot, and your aim is affected.
Yeah, I think you're right. Anytime you have a chance to hit with a little more authority, you also have a less chance of the cue ball rolling off or the object ball rolling off in case you're playing on a table that's not level.
All right, Dan makes a great point there, folks, because my contention is that you only have about 1 out of every 20 balls that's in perfect round, too. You know, they get hit nonstop, and uh-oh. Well, here's a great opportunity for Efren. And these are fun racks because the 4 lays where it's simple to get on the 5, and then the 6, 7, 9 are pretty easy. Well, this is fine. You just come up 1 rail with a little right English and try to get straight or maybe a slight angle on the 4 ball. Well, I don't like this. Now he's got to go on the other side of the 5. And the cue ball's over the 7 ball. He was a little lackadaisical with the ball in hand in the position that, for the 2 ball there, didn't you think?
Oh, that was definitely not the angle he wanted on the 3 ball.
All right,
a little too much angle
ball,
than he needed.
Okay. Now he's back in line. And he can come up just 1 rail here probably. Just like this. And this, he'll just punch the cue ball out to his left for position on the 7 ball in the side pocket. Good shot. And down to the end rail and back up a foot or so. And he's in business. Good shot. Now you can draw this or follow it, either one. Well, he'll make the 9 here, but he's not as far as he wanted to be. I love that little smirk that he gives himself if he misexecutes slightly, And when you're playing him, I hate it when he scratches his head. That usually means you're in trouble. When he scratches his head, he doesn't know what to do, and he's perplexed, and he's got to figure out some creative monstrosity to punish you,
And most of the time, you're generally hooked after he gets that look.
Right, exactly. Okay, 881 for Reyes, 842 for Bustamante, 6-4 in games, advantage Reyes. Okay, here we go. Couldn't ask for a better match on a nice summer afternoon. Oh, he stopped the cue ball in the middle of the table. Not going to have a shot at the 1, not a real good shot anyway. But I think you shoot at this, and then if I shoot at it, I'm either going to hit it with no English and try to go into the 3-4, or I'm going to use low left English and try to go 2 rails into them. Not hard or anything. What do you like here?
Well, it was Efren Spence ball. I believe he's going to use extreme low left English to try to go 2 rails and out for the 3 in the corner.
He doesn't have a cinch safety here, so let's see what he does. Okay, that's a good shot.
Oh, he went to make the 1, and if it didn't go, he was hooked behind the 8, and he also had a shot at the 3 in case it did go.
Right. Now we're going to see Francisco, I believe, go 3 rails here, and when he hits this, he's going to come close to the 4 ball. He's looking right now to see the 1 rail angle just isn't on. Now, if he hits past us, he could hit past the side pocket too. He'd have to draw the ball if he did that. But I like just using left English and going 3 rails into this 1. All right, here we go. Let's see what he does. All right, that's what I told you. If he hits past his side, he's got to draw it. That's a nice shot. The nice thing about hitting past the side and drawing it is he took the 4 ball out of play. Now he can hit at least part of this, I believe. And you use extreme right English if he has to twirl it a little more. Nice effort. Well, I think we'll see the cue ball maybe back about where it is now. I don't know for sure. That's what he's looking at. If he hits it thin like this, he's got the 7-3-4 to get it behind. He wasn't playing it. He's smiling. Actually, he might be better off if that went, because as I view this, Dan, that one ball, if it doesn't go, might have gone down there another 8 or 10 inches, and Efren probably could have hit it. I don't know if the 3 goes in the side here. It doesn't look like it. Well, I guess it does. Okay. Well, he's got a great chance to get to within 1 game here. I like playing the 5 in the left-hand side, just like this. Now here, I think, well, he's got a choice. He can kind of punch it with low right English or just below center ball right English and come 2 rails towards the 6 ball, which I believe is what he's doing, just like this. Good shot, good shot. And here I believe that you just come back a little bit, maybe 8 or 10 inches. That's fine. And low right English. He wanted to be a little farther. That's why he's gesturing with his stick. He might have gotten an angle here where the cue ball doesn't comfortably get past the side pocket.
Yeah, we'll have to spin his ball a little bit to get the ball back.
Good shot. Beautifully done. That was much harder than it looked. All right, can he go to the end rail and up? That's a good shot. Okay, needs to be careful with this. I've seen these missed on occasion. Good shot. Okay, 6-5. Well, I know he'd like to make a ball on the break here with a chance to get the score knotted up at 6 each.
Well, Francisco possession one of the strongest breaks on the tour. He's almost guaranteed to make a ball. The question is controlling the cue ball and not getting a bad break and scratching.
Yeah, he's been doing that pretty much in this tournament. I've been watching him break, and he hasn't scratched much. I don't think he made a ball.
No, he sure didn't.
Well, here's another Efren specialty. This is hard because if he cuts the one to his right, you really have to kill it to get on the 2 ball. If he cuts it to his left, you really have to kill it. And here's a shot that I probably wouldn't even play. I don't want to run into balls. I don't want to end up snookered. I'd probably play safe, but let's see what Efren decides to do. You see what I mean? All right, he doesn't quite get on the 2 ball, but that still was a great effort with inside English.
Although it's extremely tough shots to kill it with inside English.
Oh, sure.
It makes a shot a lot tougher, and just to hold it right there.
I don't believe he can hit any part of that 2 ball. And he doesn't have much of a kick here. If he hits past the 4 ball, he's going to have to draw this too. Looks like he's shooting between the 3 and 4. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Well, that was a good shot. Excellent shot. Well, I don't know. This is a tough safety here. I don't know what he's thinking about doing. He can't hit the right side of it, I don't think. If he could, there would be some other options here. He may try to put the cue ball on top of the 6 ball. I like what he did. He just hit it a little hard. But he wasn't trying to make it. He'd like to have that back, too.
Yeah, I think the cue ball came out. He wanted to be closer to the 6.
Right. He was trying to put him behind the 6-7 there. And he didn't really care where the 2 went. Okay. I guess the 4 goes on the side, and if so, this is a very comfortable rack. Because the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 are posing no particular threat. I pull this to the right side of the 7 and over to the side rail. Or it doesn't have to go to the rail, that's fine. And he can do what he wants here. Position for the side, probably. Well, he fell a little short, though, didn't he? Let's see if he can come back up the table. And this is fine. He'll go 3 rails, making sure not to... Well, he's not going to come close to any pocket. And we've got one great match here, Dan. It's going to be 6 games each.
Well, I think your prediction's going to be pretty close. Could have a 8-8 game coming up.
We sure could.
Well, let's see if he does something to change his break. He scratched last time he didn't make a ball. The break before he scratched. So let's see if he does something different to his break.
Well, you know what I think is happening to the guys, Dan? It happened to me this tournament, too. No place that we play are we allowed to break from the side anymore. So consequently, we don't practice that. And I found that it took me a while, a couple of matches at least, to get to where I was contacting the 1 solidly. You know, instead of having my stick in the middle of the table, now I'm bridging off the rail at an angle, and it was hard not to dip my cue a little bit. I had trouble with it. And maybe that's why they're not getting the best break result. Although Ramil Gallego just broke them superbly.
Well, I don't think Ramil Gallego has been playing on the Camo Tour, so he's not used to breaking from the square.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, Francisco scratched on the break again.
And usually against the likes of an Efren Reyes, a couple of scratches on the break or other types of unforced errors is enough to spell defeat. And that's another area we've touched upon many times in the ACCUSTAT commentaries, is the fact that if you can hold your unforced errors to 2 or less, that's good enough most of the time to win matches and tournaments. But if you get more than that, you know you're going to lose most of the time against talented opposition.
I'll also be very surprised if Bustamante doesn't change his spot on the break. His last 3 breaks has been unsuccessful, so let's see if he does something different next time.
Okay. Gonna have to use a little left English. Nice shot, nice shot. Okay, he's in great shape. All he's got to do is make the 8 and 9 to forge a commanding 1-game lead, 7 games to 6. Yeah, I'm really surprised. He almost looked like he took some of the velocity off of his break shot, too. I don't know for sure that he did, but it sure seemed so to me. They're both shooting 857. What are the odds of that? Almost like two ball players, having the same average, but the odds for that aren't so high because, we're still dealing in the hundreds, not thousands or millions or anything like that. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Right in the middle of the table.
That was a great break. Looks like he's got a little problem. He may have a combination on the 3-7, which I don't like to shoot. But I don't see any other option at this point. Do you see anything else different?
Yeah, I'll tell you what I like there, believe it or not. If he gets the right angle, I like playing the 3 off the back of the 7, but that's just my choice. But that's if he could get close to it. I don't know that he can get closer. I think we'll see him play a textbook Efren shot, cutting the 2 ball in the far left-hand corner, using left English, and coming around for the 3 ball where he can get close to it. It goes in the side pocket. It goes maybe in the far corner. Let's see. Just like this. That's a little hard luck that he ended up like that. Now, he may have an angle to put him behind a 9 here. I can't see. And if not, he's got maybe a good shot to put the cue ball down behind the 6 ball. He's not looking at that. Maybe he's got a billiard on the 9. Now, if he's got to draw it a little bit, I don't like it. I'd rather play safe and try to put the cue ball behind the 6 ball. Let's see what happens. But he can play safe, too, right behind the 9, like this. Nice shot, nice shot. Well, this isn't exactly my kettle of fish here. I'd prefer to have a little better shot to start with.
Well, it looks like it throws right up the 9 ball to where he has a very difficult one rail off the end rail. So he's going to have to look for something different.
Well, he might be able to shorten that ball up around the short side of the 9 ball. I don't know. Well, he's really got to lengthen this out. Got to hit it easy, extreme left English. Easy as pie. All right. Now he can put him behind the 7 ball here pretty easily if that's what he decides to do. You won't see him play the combination here. He could play the 3 off the back of the 9, or he can put him behind the 7 ball. Oh, I didn't know it would go. Okay. Well, just like that, it, for all intents and purposes, would appear that Efren's going to go ahead 8-6. Actually, Francisco made as good a shot as he could, hitting that 3 ball, and at least making it where Efren could miss. Low right English here. Just middle of the table. Position for the 8 in the side pocket. Beautifully done. Yeah, Efren sings karaoke, and I didn't know that.
It's definitely one of his favorite pastimes.
Well, that's interesting. Because I got to tell you now, in all candor, I've been to some karaoke establishments where the the participants, or stars, if you will, stunk. And I couldn't stay and listen. But I doubt that's the case with him. He does everything else so flawlessly. And anyway, our score is 8-6, Reyes.
Well, he was
903 Reyes is currently at. What is Bustamante's number? 857, which is certainly worthy. And that's great for you aspiring players, too. Learn how to score the ACCUSTATS thing. That's available from that worthy company, and see how your game stacks up. Okay, made a ball on the break. The 1 goes in either corner. The 2, though, I don't know if it passes the 5. He's looking at that right now. It does if he's close to the 2 ball, for sure, I think. I think we'll see him play the 1 ball in the right-hand corner and just try to come out 2 rails for position for the 2 ball in the far left-hand corner. I don't think he meant to hit the 5. I think the 2 goes in the corner, but I don't think he can get position on the 4. Okay, good shot, excellent shot. Okay, he's in great shape here. The 6 goes in the side or the corner. Okay, he's going to play it in the corner. And I suspect that he'll draw this back to the rail and off a little bit if he's straight in. Maybe off 8 or 10 inches. Okay, this is okay. Didn't want to be straight in, though. He's not happy here. He's all right. He'll probably still get out, but he's got to take a little longer shot on the 7 than he wanted, or play position for the side. Are we going to do an interview? Okay, we're going to do an interview. All right. Barring the totally unpredictable, this match is over with. And we'll have Efren up here in a few minutes. And while we're waiting for him, let me mention that this great tape or any of the other quality ACCUSTATS products are available by simply dialing 1-800-828-0397. Ended up shooting 902, and he's the first player to break 900 in this tournament. And I think he's threading his way towards us as we speak. Well, not quite yet. And there's a beautiful paint freeze of Efren on the monitor. We'll have him up here momentarily. And for Francisco, a great tournament. Nothing wrong with 3rd place. Kind of a hubbub of activity as the match is over with and everybody's getting ready to get a good seat for the finals.
After they take a picture, I'll ask them. Looks like they're taking a picture. You want them right now?
A few pictures being taken, and who could fault anybody for wanting to take pictures of these two great champions? All right, here he's coming. Okay.
I need interpreter.
Congratulations, Efren. Another great match. You played very well.
Thanks.
Dan, you have anything you want to say to Efren?
Well, I'd like to know if you're going to sing karaoke after this tournament.
Yeah, Dan told me you sing karaoke. I didn't know that.
No, maybe later at night we're gonna sing all of the Filipino. I think so.
Oh,
Then
all right.
maybe after this tournament, I'm gonna play back. Gonna try to play.
Oh.
All right. That's interesting. He's going to play Bucktooth. Well, you've got a good game there, I think. But first,
I don't know. I don't know. I've got a good game. I got a tough game for him because, if he's the old man, he's too tough to play.
Well, but you have a fair game. I play him 4-2, and he wants 10-5 from you. You got a good game, you know.
Yeah, do you think so?
Yeah, I think so. But I want to talk about how great you played there. Boy, you're breaking the balls well. The last 2 or 3 breaks, you stopped the cue ball exactly in the middle of the table.
Well, I try to break hard too because in the other side I cannot break too good.
But your safety was excellent too. You locked him up, boy, where he couldn't even breathe there 3 or 4 times.
Oh, not all the safety, only the last one. And the cue ball going to the 9 ball. That was the one only I got a good safety. But the other safety, I can handle.
What do you know about Ramil Gallego? Do you know him very well?
Yeah, Ramil Gallego is right now is coming a good player. He always playing with what's that name? Warren Giamco. They both the same. They play even.
Okay, well, you have to beat him twice to win the tournament. You know that, right?
I don't know.
No, it's not single elimination. You have to beat him twice.
That's okay. I don't know.
He says that's okay.
Have you played him before?
Yeah, just I played him before. I gave him 2 games, 18-20.
Okay.
And who won?
Huh?
And who won?
And he beat me. We were playing 18-20. He beat me 9 ball. But before we were playing rotation. I gave him like about 40-80.
All right. Well, we really enjoyed watching you play as usual. Good luck in the finals, and I'll probably come out and watch you play Bucktooth tonight.
Okay.
Thanks, Efren.
Thank you.
And Dan, as always, it's a pleasure, and I look forward to more of the same in the future. And with all these great thoughts in mind, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody from all of us here at ACCUSTATS.